Hey Gemini, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing your January 2025 tarot reading, asking what's coming towards you. And this is going to be an extended for any of you who really like to get in a little deeper and have a longer reading. That link will be below in the description box. I thank you very much for hitting the like button on your way in. And for anybody who has just joined me for the first time, I love to pray for everybody, so please say hi in the comments section or even leave a little emoji if that's more your style. And that gives us all something that represents your energy that we can focus on when we pray for you. And that offer always stands. To all my regulars, mwah, I love you. It's good to see you. All right, so we're going to start with the message for January 2025, the Divine Feather Messenger deck. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. You are ready to embrace change. And I just got this heat right at the back of my, like it's not occipital bone, like the base of my head. That's interesting. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. You are ready to embrace change. We're going to get one more oracle card and then we're going to jump into tarot for you. So this is from the Angels of Abundance deck. And it's a funny deck because it's sometimes very detailed. So I may expand on the reading if I feel like it's too detailed. Or too specific. So we have abundance mindset. Right on. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something you already have in the present moment, and that is what you will experience. And isn't that true? You know, the word hope, I love it. That represents also the star card in tarot. But the funny thing about the word hope is that it always exists in the future. And so I try to catch myself sometimes saying the word hope too much, right? And replace it with something that's more present, like I am doing this, I am receiving this. Let's get into tarot. So for my Gemini, there's some funny sensations going through my body with your reading already. I know that's kind of a funny thing to say, but usually I get an itchy nose when I need to pay attention to certain cards or certain meanings. But this is like a full body experience right over here. All right, Gemini, January 2025. Gemini 2025, January 2025. That one almost hit me in the face. So yeah, that's kind of the deal with the cards. We only take the ones that fly out for you because it's a conversation with tarot. We don't have any set spreads at this channel. All right, so we start with the Nine of Wands. I'm going to unpack this and then we're going to get more details. But let's start here. The Nine of Wands talks about like the stubborn, the refusal to quit, the tenacity is required to stay focused on what you want to create. We do have a bit of a self-protection energy coming through here. Two cards actually have that. Not only the one I just talked about, the Nine of Wands, where he's guarding those wands. And those wands are his projects, his actions, his intentions. But we also have another guarded card, Four of Pentacles. I want to say that this is actually a preservational energy. It's self-preservation. And so you might be pulling in your energy. You might be literally saving your money, trying not to overspend. And there might be, this has the image of the tide being sucked back out, the waves being sucked out right before a big wave. I said that terribly. Because this is the big wave, the Judgment card. So the water is being sucked out. That's this Nine of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. You know, pulling one's energy in, the resources in, and then we've got this big change. So for those of you who are like, well, I don't know what the hell that could be, ask yourself, energetically, how have you been feeling? Do you feel like something's around the corner? If you don't, that's okay. If this doesn't resonate at all, this might not be your reading as well, you know, so you'll be real with yourself. But this Judgment is a big leveling up. So this is almost like a promotion you give yourself in your life. Like if you guys believe in your guardian angels or you believe in a higher self looking over your life, this is your higher self being like, oh, wait for it. It's coming. You're giving yourself a big promotion, a big leveling up, okay? And sometimes this comes with challenge, but it's like, it looks like you have your resources ready. You've been pulling in your resources for this, pulling out the tide, sucking out the water for this huge crash, this wave, a good crash. And we've got this quiet energy here of the Hermit. So this is introspection. This has spiritual awakening all over it. I'm just going to say this could be something that others might not see loudly on the surface. What it looks like is just like that water being retracted back into the sea. You might be pulling away from certain individuals, especially in your life right now. You might be pulling away from everybody right now for this. And why? Is because it takes energy. It takes energy, spiritual energy, and probably physical energy. Let's get some more out on this. Nine of Wands for my Gemini. This is all about. I love that your affirmation cards are like, your oracle cards are so positive. Like the time is right to release old patterns, let go of things, and you are ready to embrace change. And there's this whole abundance coming to you. So, there's this old saying, it's about time. With a wheel card, it's about time. I think that you see the fruits of your labor, your intention. This is a stroke of good luck. The wheel turns in your favor. We have an individual coming out here. It could represent your energy or somebody else. The roles can always be reversed, but the energy is the same. And this is an individual who is empathic, sympathetic, compassionate, creative, sensitive. This has got water energy all over it. So you might be dealing with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. If you have water in your chart, that might be resonating. I think in regards to the Four of Pentacles, like I said, there's some self-preservation attached here, and that could be a recovery period in light of some disappointment, the Five of Cups. This is this moment. I keep on pulling this out, but I got to show you. There's two full cups behind him, but he just hasn't turned around and seen it yet. He's right now focused on the spilled cups, right? What is lost, what has left him. But he's about to turn around and see, well, holy moly, there's two full cups here. Okay, and that's where we hit the Judgment card, I think. There's this quiet intensity about your reading. It's definitely in light of something hard, tough. We have a big attachment, a realignment to your intuition. That is all attached to the Judgment card. Refocus on this picture because everything's symbolic. Please excuse the bathing suits I had to draw on them. That's for the YouTube algorithm. No naked bodies on YouTube. But they're all rising up out of the graves, answering the call of this trumpet, this angel's trumpet. So this is the Judgment card, Judgment call as well. It's resurrection, right? This is Rise of the Phoenix. And you're carrying with you your deep intuition, your deepest intuition, the High Priestess card. So I wouldn't be surprised. What does that mean, right? Like, what the hell does that mean? That means right now on a daily basis, you might be noticing the details, things that normally would be more subconscious or tucked in, veiled. You might be noticing little downloads, realizations you have, epiphanies. You might feel a little more sensitive towards people or situations, circumstances, things that haven't even occurred yet. So that's all your deeper wisdom, right? It's almost like your animal senses are really heightened. You can see and you can feel what's around the corner. And so if you resonate with that, just know that's your indication that you're really in alignment with your intuition. You're thinking with all your senses. You're operating with all your senses. Because I think you're starting here. There you go. There's for my Geminis. There's our big Aries sword. So this is, all of the aces are these gifts. I think you're about to have the gift of either an epiphany or an idea. It's going to be either communicated to you one way or another. It's going to land in like an epiphany in your head, like a download, or it's going to be explained to you, or you might just, you might have a communication. Either way, it thrusts you into the future, into plan-making mode. Two of Wands. And I love that you're going towards this with the introspection, with the wisdom and the intuition. of the Hermit and the High Priestess. To get those two wise figures in your reading, in one reading with the Judgment card, this is huge. This is spiritual awakening. Nothing's going to get by and fool you. Like, you're very, very in tune. You're sharpened because I think that you've had an experience that sharpened you. Everything kind of acts sequentially in this order, right? Something was pulled in your resources, maybe disappointed you, maybe you had some harshness. I think it's in the past for most of you. I think it's, for some of you guys, it's more recent than others, but that almost it was like smelling salts to your senses. It woke you up, pulling in your resources. The tide is going out. The ocean is being sucked in for this wave. And now you've got all this intuition. It's all very heightened. And you're about to have this kind of, if you haven't already recently had this epiphany or this realization, new plans, but you're not acting on them yet. But with this third eye open, you are really powerful right now in what you manifest. You have had the experiences up until now. You've known what it is to throw yourself into something, to want to reap what you've sown. And you might be reflecting a lot, going into 2015, I don't know why I said that, 2025, that makes sense, right? New Year's and the fresh new month, January. Of course, you're doing a little self-introspection. But this is like you considering what you need to do in light of what you've done and wondering, do I need to change it? How do I need to change it? I think the answer is yes, you do need to change it. And you're seeing that. Flipping but not flying. We have the Gemini card of the Lovers. I can see you coming out of this stage really extroverted, at least for you, even if you identify as being an introvert. One sec. What is this? Let's say there is some, there is stuff out there that you could choose to engage with. There is most likely on social media or, when we open up our phones or our screens, I'll just say, we're making ourselves open to a portal, basically, right? To be influenced by those energies around us out in the world. And modern psychology has said our brains cannot handle the amount of intensity, all the things. We cannot carry all the intensity of all the news going on. Now, this is just to say, you can choose to engage in the negative talk and communications and information that you know would lead to unrest and heartbreak. This is you setting some solid boundaries, going within versus engaging in petty stuff that's going to lead you down a nasty hole. That'd be unraveling all this really cool SHIT that you've been going through. So I love seeing the King of Swords because the swords, that's your suit. That is the air sign suit. This is applying logic to some place that has been and could be very emotional. And we love all the good emotions, but this is not necessarily engaging with those pleasant emotions. This is engaging with nasty energies. And it's always going to be out there. And these ones might be triggering something personal. And so I think it's possible. Now, earlier when I said, so you guys are going to come out of this really extroverted, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I also want to say that you might be dealing with an extroverted person for some of you guys. This can be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. This can also be just a very extroverted energy. It's one that doesn't mind, it comes off as confident. So either you guys are coming out of this embracing that, or you've got somebody in your midst, kind of, maybe you're recovering from, or they're out there maybe, stirring things up. But I think you have this incredible wisdom where you're focusing only on abundance. You're focusing going forward. You're focusing on what you've created so far, and you're not willing to compromise that for anything. You're going to build upon it, right? At this point, we've hit about 15 minutes, and I'm going to move on to our extended. If you'd like to follow me there, again, the link is in the description box below. Don't forget to say hi if you'd like us to send you our prayers. Please like the video and consider subscribing if you find these useful, and I'll have your bonus readings out soon. Take care, sweeties. Mwah.